we will look at all the tools provided by the plugin, which will help us to create the 3D objects. To look at the tools, I will go to the modeling mode. So over here, we have two new panels. On the far left, we have all the tools required, and to the right of it, we have the properties for those tools. Let us look at some of the properties for this box shape. We can actually set the width for this box, or the depth, or even the height of this box shape. Over here, we have some of the positioning properties for this box shape. Inside the target surface, right now it is set to on seal. What this means is we can set this box on any surface we want. We can set this box on the top of this, or even on the top over here of this cube, or we can set it on the top of this side. So we can actually change this thing. Over here, we can set it to the ground plane. So right now, this box can only be placed on the ground plane, not above it or not below it. So this will actually set this height of this box as 0. So it will now be always be on the ground plane. Next, if you may notice that this box is always perpendicular to any surface. So right now it is perpendicular to this wall over here, and now it is perpendicular to this ground plane, and now it is perpendicular to this cube. So why is this happening? Because we have selected align to normal to true. If I just uncheck this, now you may notice that this box is always upwards. It is not getting perpendicular to any surface. So we can just check this, and again, we'll have this box perpendicular to any surface we want. Also, we can set the pivot location for this box shape. So right now it is set to the base, means we can, if I place this box, the pivot will be at the base. I can select the center, and now we can pivot this box from the center, or also we can select the top. Now the pivot is set to the top. I will select the base again, and we can just place this box inside our level. Also, we can set the material for this box. Right now, no material is applied, so that is why it has this grid kind of material on it. Let us look at the other shapes. Over here, we can create a sphere, and you will notice that we have some different properties from the box shape. So we can set the radius of the sphere, and also all other properties are similar. The positioning properties are the same. If I select the cylinder shape, so we can set the radius of the cylinder and the height of the cylinder, and all the positioning properties remains the same. Then we have this cone shape. We can set the radius of this cone, the height, and same. We have this torus shape. We can set the outer radius for this shape, and also the inner radius we can set. Something like this. It's like a donut shape. Then we have this arrow shape. We can set the radius of this shaft, then the height of the shaft, the head radius, and many properties we can change for this. We have a normal rectangle, which is a normal plane actually. Then we have a disc, which is also a plane but in a circle shape. Then we have the stairs object, where we can actually change the number of steps of the stairs, something like this. Then the step width we can change, the height of each step, and the depth. And the target surface properties remains the shape. So we can actually just place this over here. By pressing escape, I can deselect any selected shape or any tool. Let us look at this modeling panel. Over here, we have the new asset location. So right now it is set to the world relative. If I go to the content drawer and then I will go inside my maps, you will see that we have a folder created underscore generated, which is actually created by the plugin. And inside this, we have our username, and this has all the models that we have created using this plugin, all the static meshes. So we can actually change that by going to the settings also. If I go to the settings, this is actually the plugins properties. Over here, we can set our folder name. Right now it is underscore generated. Also, we can set auto generate and auto save. Right now it is by default do not auto save, but we can set it to auto save. Then the location for this is right now world relative. It means that wherever our map is saved, right now it is saved in this location, this folder will be generated over besides the map. Notice if I set it to the global folder and let us create any shape, I will press complete. If I go inside my content folder, you will see this box will be created inside over here. So that's the difference between the global and the world relative. So by default, it is recommended to set it to world relative so that we can have all the assets saved in the same folder where our level is saved. We can also select the current folder, which means suppose I create a new folder over here, all meshes. And now if I just create any object over here, press complete. Now if I go to the content drawer, so right now all the objects that I'm created, it is saving inside this folder. So we can just go with the default, the world relative, which is the recommended settings.